Is AI actually going to take your job?
If you're not engaging AI actively and aggressively, you're doing it wrong. You're not going to lose your job to AI. You're going to lose your job to somebody who uses AI. Your company is not going to go out of business because of AI. Your company is going to go out of business because another company used AI.
Honestly, probably. But here's the thing. It's not going to take your job if you actually know how to use it. Listen, everybody's talking about AI. You've seen the ads, you've seen the hype, Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, and yeah, all these tools are powerful and amazing. But there's a problem that most people run into, and they run into it real fast, and that's limits. Claude cuts you off due to limit usage, and then ChatGPT puts you behind a paywall. And as soon as you hit that limit, your momentum just dies. And there is a solution. One ring to rule them all. Wait a minute, that's Lord of the Rings. One tool and one tool to rule them all. And that's Poppy AI. So let's get straight into it. So I've already made a video on how I was using Poppy AI. So if you want to check that out, I'll put the link right here. Okay, so the first thing that I want to go over is a tool called Ads. And honestly, it almost feels illegal knowing this. When you click on the Facebook ads, you can type nutrition, weight loss, AI, whatever it may be, you can search for those ads. And that's not limited to a thing, it could be a person. So we're gonna type in Alex Hormozi. So I can now see all of Alex Hormozi's running ads. So if you look at the date, it's April 21st. These are all yesterday's ads. And this is content that hasn't even seen his social media platforms or his main grid. So look, this is all completely different content that he usually puts out, and it's just all his ads. If you look at the date, this is still April 21st. This is all his ads from yesterday. If we keep scrolling, now we can see more videos. And if you notice, he's currently promoting something called the Tone Guide for sales teams. This is all from 2 days ago, videos, still PDF. Now from this, they're able to get all that data of what's working for them and what's not. That's the whole idea of Hormozi's framework. They play the volume game. But the fact that we can search this up, connect this to the AI tool and analyze which one of his, like why he created a certain ad and how it's working or why it's working, ultimately is in our favor. And still, look at the date, April 20th. These are all the ads that he's currently running. But here's where the magic is. If we click this button right here and we go to longest running, we can see his current live longest running ad, which happens to be this video right here from last year, September 12th. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click that, we're gonna import that into the board. We're gonna connect it to the chat, and we're gonna ask the chat for why he's still running the ad. We can extract information from the ads that are being ran and use them to our favor. We can emulate them, we can use the same framework, we can figure out why they're working and use those tools for our own businesses. Poppy is literally able to see what the concept is, where the pattern interrupts are. Sometimes it's not about whose ad it is and what it's about, but the concepts that we don't see. And again, from there, we can just build something out for ourselves. Now I'm gonna move on to something that I've done prior, specifically for this video, so let's get into it. This is absolutely insane what you're capable of doing now. So I've attached my a chapter of one of my brand guide, which is the chapter of building trust in branding. I have it here. It's this Word document. I dragged and dropped it, I connected it to the chat, and I asked the chat to analyze. Here's the prompt. Attached is a 40-page brand guide on building trust. Analyze it and create an entire carousel. Think in a 10-slide carousel. Start with a good structure, somewhat like the pain hook solution. My demographic is creators, and it created this carousel for me. So if we zoom in, it's analyzed everything. It's figured out what is going to be needed. So literally, look, the virality path, the trust path, all the data I have in there, all the analytics, it literally created this carousel for me. All right. And prior to doing that, it gave me like a little bit of a breakdown of what it was going to put and why. That's crucial. From here, I wanted to condense it down. I actually gave it a little bit more instructions, like let's stick with a dark vibe. Let's use red and yellow titles, a little bit more in depth. And it did just that. And this is exactly what it gave me. I asked it to add some more elements in there too. So if you notice, there's a few elements around the side. We got the red box in the background. It's got the hook. It's got all statistics in here. Literally everything you see in this carousel was taken from my brand guide. Look, here's the stats that I had in there. So you could literally drag and drop certain elements or documents that you have and allow this to. So I went a little bit further. I attached it again, and I had, shout out to Lance, I added in Lance's current carousel, which is like this, which is also about Poppy. And I told the AI to use this carousel as a reference, as a visual reference. I'm still got my brand guide attached, and this is what it gave me. It literally used Lance's current carousel, but the information that I needed from my document. So you can add in other people's carousels or design elements from Pinterest to give you the feel, and the AI does really well with the instructions. This is incredible. So many creators are wasting time on so many different platforms. You're going on Canva, you're paying for ChatGPT, you're paying for Claude, you're paying for all these different, you're paying for Notion, when you can do all of that right here in one platform. But guess what? I went a little bit more further. This is where the magic is. This is absolutely incredible what I was able to do. So let's zoom in. The same guide, I told the chat to create, I'll just read the prompt to you. Create a landing page / website from the information presented in my brand guide. Keep it clean and on brand. Let's use neutral colors. Watermark it, Train with Charm, which is my brand, and let's keep it a premium feel. And it went over everything, and it outlined what the homepage would be, what the approach would be, and what the framework would be. Gave me a contact page too, and here's the design features for the visuals. Okay, so let's take a look at the website that it gave me. There it is right there. So we're gonna click it, we're gonna go open page preview, and look at this. And again, I want you to take into consideration how small the prompt was and how much further that we could input into this. And again, this is all information from the document, the brand guide that I gave it. It's watermarked. Look, what makes a premium brand? This is all information from my guide. Strategic identity, authority content, trust architecture, premium positioning, brand journey. Look at this, see the full framework. Goal, clarity, reputation mapping. Yeah, there might be a few, I don't see any spelling mistakes, but there might be tiny little things like this not being caps. But the beautiful thing is you can go back in and now edit this. And the framework is all there. Look at this, this is incredible. Let's go to the other page, the approach. All on brand. Again, you saw this from the carousel that it made. I remember when a client of mine many years ago, almost a decade ago, would take months to make this, and I was able to make it in less than 5 minutes. This is pretty amazing considering all I did was attach my document and give it one small prompt. But I didn't stop there. I was able to ask it to make a presentation for me. This right here is a 12-page presentation. And that's why with this video, I wanted to keep the information uniform, and I used the same brand guide to make carousels. I made a landing page website, and now I have a presentation. So think about what you can do with this, with your clients in your business, adding in the information strictly just for a presentation. This is amazing. But I didn't stop there. I asked it to create a YouTube thumbnail for me. I said, don't use any pictures of me, just use generic content. Use whatever title you think is best for SEO or keep attention. And that is the thumbnail it got me, based on the information that we provided it. What little information we provided it. But look at that. That's considering this took literally less than a minute to do right after the presentation was created. But I didn't stop there. I was able to, right after this, I told it to create a mind map. And this is all connected to my brand guide. I'm sticking with the theme of just this brand guide. It gave me this mind map. And I want to show you guys how incredible this is. Look, it broke down my entire brand guide into a mind map. And then I got the idea of each one of these could be a video itself. So I could ask it to create a script for just core philosophy. So let's just say I was going to do a video series. That could be like, welcome to the channel, guys. Today, I'm teaching you guys how to build trust and not just gain views. Today, we're talking about the core philosophy. And now the AI has already got the entire brand guide. It can just make a script on core philosophy. Then I can do an entire video on brand journey framework, which is this. I can do an entire video and script on goal first approach, customers versus followers, the difference, marathon mindset. In fact, after this video, I think I'm gonna ask it to get me a script on each one of these. That's the beautiful thing, that if you provide it with so much information, it's able to break it down into a mind map just like that. Guess what? I didn't stop there. So with Poppy AI now, you can now connect Poppy directly to your Notion board. Now, everybody uses Notion differently. Some people use it for all their work or as a mini CRM or an organization tool, productivity, writing, whatever it may be. Now, Poppy can connect directly to your Notion. All you have to do is click connections right there, and you can integrate it with many different things: Slack, Google, Google Calendar, Gmail, whatever it may be. If you notice, it says connected to my Notion. Now, what I did was, if you look at my Notion right here, again, depending on what you use your Notion for, is whether it's your finances, you can ask the AI to go over your finances, your habits, so on and so forth. Right here, I have a lot of my writing. These are poems from one of my books that I was gonna write. Now, if you go to the chat right here, I said, go over my Warrior Wisdom Volume 3 inside my Notion, analyze it all and confirm when you have. It went in, it found it, it fetched all the information, and then it gave me a breakdown of everything that's in my Warrior Wisdom Volume 3. Check it. We're gonna go back right here just to confirm, okay? It gave it a breakdown. I then said to create a carousel from poem number 3, Calloused Hands. So if we go back to Notion, we have Calloused Hands right here. This is a poem that I wrote. It pulled it up and it broke down the poem and created what was going to be in each slide. Then it went ahead and created it. And these images, I did not provide these images. It analyzed the words and the images and it created this for me. And it's linked, it's super linked. Look at this. And now imagine if you go slightly more deeper and give it more in-depth explained, like more strategic prompts. And again, guys, this is just a carousel from an integration of Notion. What if you go beyond that? What if you have all your ideas and all your notes and your entire business in Notion? You could with the integration, you can get it to do certain tasks for you. This is unbelievable. So let's take a step back. Is AI gonna take your job? To be honest, the answer to that is entirely up to you. But here's what I know for certain. Number 1, it's not going anywhere. Number 2, it's not slowing down. And number 3, it's not getting less advanced. But what you need to pay attention to is the people winning right now, they're not smarter than you, they're not talented than you, they don't have more time than you. They're just moving faster. They're executing at a speed that wasn't possible 2 years ago. And that is down to AI. Now, yeah, you can waste time and money on all these other different platforms and have 7 different touch points, or you can stay ahead of the curve and go to one place. Landing pages in minutes, which old designers would take weeks to do. Content carousels in minutes, ideation, ads, you name it, it can do it. And speed in this day and age is way more important than the idea itself. So let's reframe the question. Are you gonna be the one using it, or are you gonna be replaced with somebody that does? That, my friend, is up to you.